Hey guys, welcome to Shadowq's How To Sylvanus. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is probably the most odd thing to say, but really try to aim your root. And the reason I'm saying this specifically for Sylvanus is one, is because a lot of people just kind of throw it out there thinking that it's not an important skill, but if you take the time to just line it up a little bit, you will hit so many more important routes than you think you ever can. So instead of just trying to root because you really, really need to root right then, if you just wait like literally a third of a second to line it up a little bit more, you will be more successful with your roots, I guarantee it. Unless you're just a god at skill shots, in which case just keep doing what you're doing. Um, Otherwise, if you're talking about Sylvanus as one, never, ever, ever, ever use this for mana. And I know that's kind of ignoring a big part of the one's purpose, I guess, if you want to call it that. The times that it's actually worth it for you to use it for mana are so, so small, and if you're using mana to put it down in the first place, it's always going to be almost always a net loss, and the cases where it actually is worth it are so hard to evaluate that I would really only worry about that if you're like a top level player. So for the most part, for everyone watching this video, I would highly recommend just not concerning yourself with the mana usage. Sometimes it baits you or your teammates into standing in the spot, making it easier for your opponents to read where you're going to be for skill shots. So I would just not consider the mana usage of the circle on the Sylvanas one until you're at really a high level of play. It just kind of baits you into situations where you don't want to be in. Okay, so for Sylvanas' 2, this move functions as both a heal, a prot increase, and a damaging ability to enemy gods. What I see a lot of Sylvanas use this for, mainly, is just the damage, and that's pretty much incorrect 9 times out of 10. Sometimes, obviously, you do want to do it just for damage because you're on the offensive, or you just need a little bit to close it out, or it's just better sometimes, but the primary use that this move is for is defensively. So not only is it just more efficient for healing your teammates, as you can see that by the tooltip, it's just more value out of the heal than the damage. It's just more healing, plus you don't even have to worry about mitigation prots as far as that goes. But anyway, uh, the protections that it gives you and your teammates are so important. So like, if you or your teammates about to get hit by like a raw snipe or a, you know, uh, big alt like a Kraken or something, you can just preemptively heal, so that way you take less damage. It's just efficient to wait. You see, like, right before raw ulti is when you want to use the heal. It's just the most important time to do it. Timing that is as important as using it for, like, Ares 2 or using Nemesis Shield right before an ability. It's the same exact concept that people just overlook time and time again. So let's talk about the pool. A lot of people see YOLO pools miss and call it a mistake, but that's not really what you want to see it as. Every time you go for a YOLO pool, which means not out of CC, not guaranteed whatsoever, you're taking a risk, and it's supposed to be a calculated risk, right? Just going for the pool should never be guaranteed, unless you're just a ridiculous mind reader, which I don't believe anyone in this game is perfect at this point. So you can use your 3 when, if it will hit, it will be threatening to the person that it hits. Because you don't want to just like pull someone in lane and have like them outpoke you. But if you use your 3 on somebody in lane when you have pressure and you can just poke them out or something like that, even if it's only got like a 30% chance to hit or something like that, then still it's probably worth going for. The only thing that you have to really concern yourself with as far as that goes is mana. And if you realize that you're going too then just kind of hold off on doing it. Don't take the risk. And other than that, just go for the YOLO pools. One thing that you can do to make this easier, a lot of characters like Ra, for example, just don't have a jump. And if you're in range of your pool, you're probably also in range of your root. So the root's cooldown is, I believe, 10 seconds or something with CDR. It's really, really short. But the 3's cooldown is defaultly 30 seconds, I believe. So if somebody doesn't have a jump, almost always it's better to start with the root and then go to the pool. Because if somebody's rooted, it guarantees the pool unless somebody's there to body block it, in which case you still pull somebody. So in 99% of the cases, if somebody doesn't have a jump, just go for the root first. It is better. So if Ra doesn't have a jump, so I can just root, guarantee the pull. Really, really simple. And right before he ults, I just do a heal, gonna get the most amount of damage possible. I get the cross instantly on myself, and then a little bit later for allies. So, yeah. The last thing that I want to talk about is how to work your alt CC chain. And the most common way to initiate on someone like Ra is just to do the root, to pull, and then you have some options. Like you could alt right away, which is pretty much the default initiate. But that's like the most common way that you see it outside of just a blink ulting 2 or 3 people. Early game, the route to pull to ult is the easiest way to go on somebody. But let's say I blink on Ra and ult him, and I want to keep him just there. So immediately after doing my ulti, I want to chain my CCs. My CCs are my root and my pull. And the pull is also a stun, so it counts as a chain even if he's right on top of me, which is fine. So a lot of people will just do the ulti and then do their 3 and their 1 right afterwards, but that is wrong, except for like 1 in 100 cases. So if you do your ultimate, they're actually going to be in the air for a bit, and that counts as CC. They can't do anything if they're in the air. So as soon as they land the ground is when you want to chain your CCs. Not beforehand, just immediately as soon as they hit the ground. Basically before they can use a spell. So my goal is going to be here to ultimate, and then chain it with my root, and chain it with my pool. The order of the 1 and the 3 doesn't really matter. That's kind of 50-50. So I'm going to ult and then chain the CCs right before each one expires. So watch this. Wait for the land hit, wait for it to expire, pull. Pretty simple stuff. Basically straightforward. So if you get a blink ultimate and then want to keep somebody right there, just do that. It's just a longer duration. So I believe that's about everything as far as tips and tricks go. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you follow or subscribe or whatever. And see you guys next time.